Now, South Africans are calling on the resignation of President Cyril Ramaphosa, expressing a deep frustration following his marks on visa applications by Nigerians to South Africa. President Ramaphosa made these remarks during the 11th SA-Nigeria Bilateral Commission meeting that took place in Cape Town. They're linking the visa issue to a broader narrative of job scarcity and crime issues that have plagued the society for years. Some see the president's comments as a tactic that will bring foreign nationals in South Africa without visas. In his response through his spokesperson, Vincent Magwenya, the president said he was misunderstood and that Nigeria contributes positively to the economy of South Africa. To further discuss this issue, we're now joined by political analyst Sandile Swana. Thank you so much, Sandile, for joining us. I'll just go straight and ask, what exactly are the specific circumstances that have led to the call of Ramaphosa's resignation, especially regarding the Nigeria visa application issue? We know that that's not the only problem. So is it an issue of accumulated anger, or just, it goes beyond the visa problem, definitely, doesn't it?
Yes, the visa, first of all, there is no visa problem. So this is a red herring, a wild latching on to the call for Ramaphosa to resign for genuine reasons. Now, first of all, the statement made by Ramaphosa, which has been misinterpreted, but misinterpreted because there is a long-term rising unemployment problem, long-term, in actual fact, in South Africa, and economic failure, including this year. So that has created tensions, and Nigerians have been targeted specifically. So the idea that Ramaphosa has actually said that Nigerians can enter South Africa without passports, without visas, and so on, is an exaggeration by opportunists who are fueling xenophobia continuously, not only against Nigerians, but against Africans, Pakistanis, and so on. So Ramaphosa is caught up in that wave at this moment in time.
Right. Now, how would you say that all of this incident reflects the broader issues in South Africa's bilateral relations with other African countries?
We must distinguish between the relationship between the South African state, the official relationships with other African countries. It's not easy for me to immediately think of any specific countries, maybe Rwanda to a certain degree, where the state has got problems, specific problems with a particular country, including Nigeria. The problems that we have are problems in the communities and in social media and with agitators in South Africa, who have formed a very negative view that people such as Nigerians bring crime, they take jobs from South Africans and all sorts of things like that. But those are normal signs when the economy is not doing well and people are under economic pressure.
All right. I'm going to ask a question that a lot of people would seem, seemingly a no-brainer, but it's a very deep concerning issue. Now, in your opinion, do you think that South Africans generally, and not just South Africans now, the whole of Africa generally understand the concept of bilateral relations and their importance for the country? I'll give an example. The visa-free entry into African countries. We speak about that, we preach about that, allowing easier trade access within Africa, but only about 4 African countries as of November 6, 2024, have implemented the visa-free entry for other African countries. So do you think that Africa, on a larger scale, and then streamlining it to South Africa, really understand the meaning of bilateral relationship?
Yes, it's a relevant question. The education of Africans and South Africans in particular on the question of opening the borders, allowing people free visa-free travel, because first of all, they don't even understand what the visa is there. What is the purpose of this visa? Therefore, if you say you are giving people visa-free travel, what do you mean and what are the benefits of that? The integration of the African economy in terms of communications, transport, logistics, etc., that also still needs to be done so that more trade. People have not even been educated by African intellectuals and African political leaders as to the opportunities that are being missed whilst these delays of not opening the borders continue to be in place.
Okay. Now, we know that this is not the first time we're hearing about the not so subtle tension between South Africa and Nigeria. What exactly could have caused it? What historical factors have contributed to any existing hostilities or tensions between South Africa and Nigeria that is still lingering on?
Well, there are, I don't know whether to call them flimsy reasons, but for instance, there's been a very hot contest in the beauty contest arena with Chidima Adesina recently, where she ended up going to be the first princess in the Miss Universe contest. Now, whilst she had been expelled from South Africa for fraudulent papers. Now, that links to the other issue that South Africans have formed a view, and this view is widely shared, that Nigerians are always involved in criminal activities and fraud, as if South Africans are not. In other words, Nigerians are leading crime in drug dealing and other things in South Africa, even if the statistics were to point in another direction, that the South Africans are actually the ones leading crime in South Africa, and so on and so forth. The other issues that are substantive, for instance, that the Nigerian government, because it's short of foreign exchange at the moment, is not paying certain investors, South African investors. Most South Africans don't even know about such things. So this is a street level layman's conflict that has got no scientific basis, but it is real. It does need to be managed, but it has got no scientific basis.
Okay, I mean, from your own perspective, do you see this dying down anytime soon? Because now it looks as though, like you said, there are flimsy reasons why there's this tension between South Africa and Nigeria. And at any opportunity, either South Africans or Nigerians just take it up with the other country. We've seen the e-hailing story where South Africans just started ordering rides from Nigerians, and then Nigerians retaliated. So do you see this dying down anytime soon? Because this might go a long way in affecting the relationship that South Africa has or should have with Nigeria.
The problem that you have is that South Africa is very poor in law enforcement. Our law enforcement is extraordinarily poor. And the stories that you are now telling me and other related stories that have happened speak to the issue that there is no proper law enforcement in South Africa. So to the extent that South Africa does not protect businesses, does not protect citizens properly and residents of South Africa properly, any regardless of ethnicity, that problem cannot be solved quickly, that specific problem. All those problems that are showing that our law enforcement system is weak and leaking, those will not be solved. Then opportunities of various kinds will fuel all kinds of conflict in order to create chaos and to therefore continue with other crimes, including new crimes that were not there before.
Right. Okay. Political analyst Sandile Swana, this is the much we can take, but thank you so much for joining us and discussing the bilateral relationship between South Africa and Nigeria.